Hello guys, welcome. This is Deepika from mytutorialrack.com and I am here with another interview question for you. So what is the question? How do exceptions affect the program if it doesn't handle them? So let's say you have written a program and for some reason it has thrown an exception, and if you do not have any mechanism of like try catch to handle that exception, then what's going to happen is your program is going to end abruptly and it will not execute anything else at the point it has thrown an exception. So it is very critical to handle an exception because it will make sure that you continue with the rest of the program and you can still execute the remaining lines and you have handled the line which has thrown an exception. Now this can happen to anybody. For let's say you are building a Java application with an Android application, let's say, and in your Java program you are looking at a particular folder in your directory and you're looking for a particular file in that folder, and for some reason somebody by mistake has deleted that particular file from that folder. Now what's going to happen is when your Java program runs and it is going to look for that file in that folder and it is no longer able to see it, and then if at that point you do not have a try catch block to handle it, what's going to happen is your program is going to start throwing an exception and that will go to the end user, and end user is not going to have a good user experience. So to avoid all of that, you can think of that, okay, there can be a possibility of file not found, and you should have a try catch block to handle that kind of exception so that the users at the end user do not have to see this no file found errors, and you can handle them more easily and in a more user friendly manner. You can, instead of saying hey no such file found, you can have hey we are having issues locating the particular file, please connect back later in a few minutes. That way user gets a user friendly message and they know something is wrong, and then you can fix that in the meantime and then can continue with the program, right? But if you did not have this try catch block, what's going to happen is the end user is going to get a weird message from JVM saying file not found or something like that, and user does not have any idea how to handle it, right? Because not all users are going to be engineers, right? If you do not handle the exceptions, what happens is it will go propagate all the way to the main method and then to the JVM, and JVM is going to handle that exception by throwing that exception, and your program will be ended abruptly. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the theory. Exceptions are what? Exceptions are runtime errors. Suppose we are making an Android application with Java, and if it all works fine, but there is an exceptional case when the application tries to get the file from its storage and file doesn't exist. And in this case, an exception will be thrown. And if this case is not handled properly, then the application is going to crash because it's going to end abruptly. This will be a bad experience for the user, and this is the type of the error that cannot be controlled by the programmer, but programmers can take some steps to avoid this so that application doesn't crash and the proper action can be taken. So at this point they can have a try catch block, and wherever they are trying to access that file, they can have a catch block saying file not found exception or something like that, and then when that exception is thrown, you have a catch block and then you continue with the rest of the program. So this is very important that you handle the exception, because if you do not handle the exception, your program is going to crash, will end abruptly. This is another interview question. I hope you are enjoying these tutorials, and I'm going to see you in another video with a new question. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye. Take care.